learning to do that I've only mastered it for a year. Whenever you sense a fraud, like you let the people first speak up, and then you just drag like the people drag them out, and then you just like full
everybody
on
don't
attack.
get the same strategy though. It's a reason for that strategy. Because once the grievance is vexed, the universal order say I have to answer the grievance.
Yeah,
so
true.
When I first had a grievance, it became inconsequential because it was only my grievance. So now I gotta let the people complain sufficiently to make me perform the function, and then I gotta look for the signs from Big Mama to say, do what they said.
No, true.
No, so
That's
every righteous woman in my life, from past, present to future, gave me the same sign on the same day. And they said, watch what Big Mama say. And she said, flip the fish out, Southwest, Mexico, Texas is Mexico, Arizona is Mexico, California is Mexico, Nevada is Mexico.
Yeah.
Right. So if the fish you want flipped out is in the Southwest, is getting flipped out. I know who she talking about, because I know who told me that bullshit, and I know who she told me to wait till I give you the sign.
Nah, true.
So
I hope people. True. I hope people trust the energy. It's not even about you, or it's not even about you as a person or whatnot, but the energy you come with. Right? The energy you come with, the things that line up after you speak. If people, I hope people see that. If people see that, then they'll know our freedom is in our hands.
Yeah.
We can free ourselves. Because we in the UK, we picked up the message, we picked up what you said, we took it to the continent, we did what we needed to do, and we're on standby as well.
Yeah. See, a lot of people be thinking that I'm when I pull somebody out, that it's personal. It's not personal.
No, it's not yet.
You know, so that's why, like, if I pull them out, I might say something harsh to them to antagonize them, ruffle their feathers, and make them expose themselves.
No, true, yeah.
And then I'll explain why I did it when the time comes for me to explain.
Teach a lesson, basically.
Yes, because once you see that I know what I'm talking about, then you understand that I'm not trying to mislead you. I'm trying to show you the way out this shit. That's what make the people say, okay, well then he must have some validity to what he's saying, because he got all the receipts. And this motherfucker telling us contrary with no receipts.
Facts.
You just supposed to believe them because they told you that they was the one with the juice and the inside connects.
Energy never lies.
Look, I taught a class with somebody asked me, did Rashad Jamal call me? Me and Rashad taught a class together on his what's that?
University.
No, he got a group on it's not Telegram, the UCI, Clubhouse.
Our Clubhouse, yeah.
Yeah, so he invited me on there and we taught a whole class together. So long as he don't get a goddess drill, no issue. Melanated magic, I don't got no problem with him.
No, he's on.
Yeah, he doing what he supposed to be in his lane. I you know, people was complaining about because he do $200 for his class. That's not no money. So, you know, he's selling basically a product. He's not fleecing the people.
No, facts.
You know,
knowledge, basically.
Because like I do this because I'm gonna get mine once all my people get theirs. So I'm not worried about it. Big Mom already told me I was straight. Right? But some people need to make a living and they need to get the message out. I don't knock the hustle. I knock the fraud.
Facts.
You know,
facts.
Telling people you can do something that you can't possibly do. Or giving people information that undermines the liberation movement of the people. Now I got to say something.
That's it.
You know, so Yep. I'm gonna pull another question up before I cut out.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. The UK says thank you. Africa says thank you. Thank you for sure. Thank.
Let the sister come in, see what she want me to ask. What's going on with your soul sister number one?
How did I know you were gonna have me in here? That's funny. So recently, I just kind of had to say this. Recently, okay, well, I'm an artist first off, and I've been getting a lot of like downloads through my art. Like what I've noticed is like my art has like a foreshadowing effect. So like it's been like a lot of downloads regarding portals or like eyes or like, what's the word? What else? It's been a couple of things or like just a couple of situations that I've been like putting together kind of like.
So when you do performing your art, you channeling what they call Shakti energy, divine feminine, right? And you're gonna always get spirit messages in anything that's artistic. So like I can actually look at pictures people write and see something entirely different than the rest of the world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I'll read it like a tarot card where other people look at it, oh, that's a beautiful scenery. I like how the ocean smashed against the rocks or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I'm reading it like a tarot card because it's a projection that came from the subconscious mind and it was guided by the energy of Shakti. Right. So now when I'm looking at it, I'm reading the subconscious mind, Shakti, and it's translating what spirit is saying through this person is this.
Okay.
You know, so each one of your pictures tell a different story.
Right. You know, recently, even what you were talking about, like, I don't know, because I know you live, what, like 30 minutes from me. And the other day, even like, I was in the car with my friend. Huh?
You in Detroit?
Metro Detroit, like the outside of Detroit.
You know where Pontiac at, right?
My dad worked out there. And even what they did to Pontiac was the way this whole everything is just crazy. But I was in the car with my friend the other day and we just driving or whatever, and we hear this noise, like this weird, crazy, like extraterrestrial sounding noise, and we both just look up and we like, what? And then we kind of like later on that night, it was just like a lot of things in the sky that we were just noticing and stuff like that, and we both heard this like loud boom. And I remember when you were on live with Amani a while ago, and you kind of, when you called me that day and I was talking about how, or you were talking about how like you kept hearing a bunch of booms and
that boom, yeah,
and the other day it happened again, and I'm like, okay, so it's just all the synchronicities been coming up. And even what you were talking about like on the 7th, it was funny because I just started this piece today, this one right here, and it's not finished yet, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna just finish it on the 7th. And then I tapped into your live and you were talking about what was going on the 7th and the 8th.
Go back to that picture. Let me tell you what I see.
Okay.
You see the blue? I got a video a couple months ago, and I said that it's going to start on the West Coast. We're going to see a sea of blue. And in the middle of the sea of blue, we're going to be a river of red. It was going to be Crips on both sides, and the bees was going to be bee walking up the middle. Right? And you painted the picture. That's the picture that, because the blue water is the Crips, the red river is the Bloods.
Right.
And we're going to drown their ass in bloods up to the horse's bridle with this apocalyptic fuck the police recital.
Man. Even that, it's just crazy how everything been coming about. And recently I've been trying to work on, it's just this like thing of like ego, and I've been trying to like you know, because the more I know, it's like, okay, I don't want to be like a, you know, somebody who just, you know,
Yeah,
like,
so they reporting booms in the comments from different parts of the country.
mm-hmm.
360 around the globe with out of context weather anomalies. Like tornadoes in the winter, it's not coming. Right? The areas where it's supposed to be hot is freezing. Hailstorms. But y'all think it's coming. It's not coming. This time of year is giving you what we would call spring and fall time weather. And people think that it's normal to see it playing out the way that it's playing out. This shit is not normal. Right? They rain fish in Texas. There's blizzards in the northeast and in the northwest. It's a heat wave coming in, rolling in out the southwest. You got tropical storms coming out the southeast, converging, all of that shit over here. And people got the audacity to say that nothing's happening. Well, at this particular point, I'm sitting back watching and I'm saying to myself, this the calm before the storm. I don't know what's going to be the tipping point, but this is the calm before the storm because only thing we ain't took control of is media, right? So mainstream media is the last thing out of enemies to go. So whoever it is working for our side should probably be trying to shut that shit down, right? Because once they shut down the fake media, there's nobody to keep up the charade. That's snatching the curtain off their ass, right? So, like, I can't tell a motherfucker when shit gonna happen. I done said that 1,000,000 times. I can read it in real time as it's happening, and I can give a reasonable assumption of what this add up to in a mathematical sense. That's not prophecy. That's not giving prophecy. That don't mean I gotta always be right. And that's where motherfuckers make their mistake. They think that if any motherfucker say something, he gotta automatically be right. I can be wrong too. I don't gotta always be right. But the fact that whether I'm wrong or whether I'm right, I stand on my motherfucking convictions. My mama said, let your yes be yes and let your no's be no. So if a motherfucker don't understand what that means, then that's their problem, not mine. Right? So, I've been trying to figure out, like, what else to tell these people. What else can I tell them to do? Once I done told y'all who the kings of the land was, and y'all supposed to be pushing that agenda, but nobody's really, only certain key people pushing the agenda. Everybody else sitting on the fence, twiddling their legs, you know, flipping their thumbs. I've been laying low, watching, and I know something ain't right. I just don't know what it is. Something don't fit in the equation, right? The math is incongruent right now. So the only thing to do to make it more congruent and balance that shit out is to flip a bigger turnaround on the media, because they the ones keeping the charade going. They the ones broadcasting this bullshit from fake presidential Oval Office studios. Castle Rock, they got one on the military base. I was going over that with Rashida earlier. These motherfuckers keeping up this elaborate front. The only thing we ain't did was snatch the motherfucking curtains off the media. Get rid of them motherfuckers, take over their shit. Confiscate their shit for being an enemy to the people by feeding them the propaganda that lead them to participate in their own destruction. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. Because it's the media that's playing this song and dance, right? The artificial political elites. Where these motherfuckers really at, right? So they telling us this shit, but something is amiss. I can't say exactly what it is right now, but this shit's supposed to been well on the road to recovery by now. And somebody getting overzealous in their position and taking shit a little bit out of context, a little bit too far, right? So you got to know where to draw the line at, where you supposed to stop. Where's the finish line? Motherfucker can't keep moving the finish line because it's going to make motherfuckers say, wait a minute, why the finish line keep moving? Every time we finish, then the finish line move again. That shit ain't fair. But they've been cheating the whole time, so why would they be any of a less of a cheat now? Right? They've been cheating the whole time. Right? It's just that now you can't pull the same shit on our eyes, so now you have to keep as many of us, each one teach one, from teaching another. Because the more of us to get the information out, the more we understand what we up against, the less jurisdictional authority these motherfuckers have to take us over. Right? So, if I don't speak to y'all one at a time, no, I appreciate y'all being here. I would like it better if y'all would bring more people. But hey, I ain't tripping because the shit gonna happen whether it's a little or a lot. I prefer to take a lot of us with us. I could have saved more people had they know they need saving. Right? Had they know they were tricked, I could have helped them out of the deception, out of the trickery. But because they were so thoroughly tricked, they fought against everything that I say to break them free from the trickery. Right? I got Clubhouse. I just haven't set up a room. Right? I don't really be... The thing is this. I could talk to y'all that blue in the face. It's not going to change nothing. It's not going to help nothing. The only thing going to change is if the people that I'm talking to is inspired to action from the words I speak. You know, if I get you to teach somebody the shit that I'm teaching you, showing you where to look for the information. Here's the answers. You look right here. This is the answer to the problem. Right? Some people are starting to understand what the problem is and see who the real enemy is. Right? So I be putting them, I post that shit. I don't give a fuck. If I see somebody saying the same thing, I don't have to know them motherfuckers. They telling you the exact same thing I'm telling you. So if they telling it to you, I'm telling it to you, and we don't know each other, then it might be some validity to that shit. Right? So first and foremost, the black term for the people is a chess term for the people. All of the people considered as black as the pawns on the defensive side of the chessboard, and all the people considered white as the pawns on the offensive side of the chessboard. On the defensive side of the chessboard, you don't even have to know that you're under attack. The defensive side of the chessboard consists of the indigenous people of the land. The deception being used to prevent them from ever participating in the chess game is to make them believe that they don't even have positions on the chessboard. When the real reality of it is they own the chessboard. Right? Not only do they own the chessboard, they invented the game. Once you realize you invented the game, you got to realize that the inventor of the game can't be beat using that game. Right? So he can come in late. He can come in an off position. He can come in at a bishop's angle or at a knight's L. Or he can slide across on the rook. Or he can push in any direction off a queen. But whatever it boils down to, when it comes to the grand hurrah, checkmate motherfucker, the gig is up. You have to know when you playing against them, and you got to know what they're using as a strategy to use to keep you in a subservient condition. Now, the chains are paper chains. The paper chains are the adhesion contracts. So look up adhesion contracts, right? Every time you do paperwork with the corporation, you are agreeing to follow the rules of the corporation. The corporation is not the government. The government is the people that the people pick from among themselves to be their leaders. Not the artificial electoral college puppy dog show that they tell y'all is the president, who is actually the elected CEO of the corporation by stakeholders. If you don't know what the electoral college is, you won't never know how they was able to determine who was going to be the president from the word go. Because the electorate can override the popular vote. But if they want you to think whatever they want you to think, right, then they can tell you that the popular vote is what the electors was going to do anyway. You have no way of verifying that, right? There's no agency that verifies ballots. Specifically should be done on its own in a society where your votes count, right? So automatically, if you was having real presidential elections, it would be an independent corporation, an independent body that would be tasked with inspecting the validity of all of the motherfucking ballots if it wasn't fixed. But it's fixed. So since it's fixed, they let the electors of the electoral college, whose vote they know who they know they're gonna vote for ahead of time, even before the election. Because part of being enrolled as an electorate in the electoral college is they have to know who you voting for. So that's how they know already who gonna win. Okay, so being separate from the corporation is taking away the artificial, what they call the de facto jurisdiction, which is actually an assumed jurisdiction acting under the color of law. Violation of the United States Code 1983. So when they acting under the color of state law, they passing themselves off with the appropriate jurisdictional appearance, but without the substance. So when you validate the illegitimate system, you telling them that you are imbecile in law, and the imbecile in law is considered dead, aka black. Right? So you black in law, which means you the ones that they are attacking anyway. How do you know this? We've been at war for 500 years. Right? In the 500-year war, they have what they call warrants. A war rant is a declaration of war that is perpetual. Every time one of us color outside the lines they draw for us, they issue a warrant in our name. But they don't issue it in the name of what we call the de jure. They are issued in the name of the de facto corporate entity they create that represents you, called a straw man. The straw man is what you call a legal fiction. That means it's created in law, but it's not real in substance. It is a de facto. The corporation known as the United States is a de facto. The people of the land in a sovereign capacity are the de jure. When you realize that you the de jure, then you got to know, well, how is they playing this game that keeps us from winning? They use the paper trap to get you to consent to their superior jurisdiction. The paper trap determines your lack of competency to handle your own affairs because you keep re-enlisting in adhesion contract after adhesion contract with a defunct corporation. It's closed now. So now you beating the dead horse trying to get it to come back to life, looking for some shit they call normal. We ain't going back to that shit. Better get
Sister Tracy.
See what she got on her man. When you don't do the paperwork, they can't validate the substance of their claim of you being an imbecile in law, because only an imbecile would surrender his inalienable rights for his civil liberties. Your inalienable rights override all of the civil liberties. The civil liberties are those allowances that the corporation, the civic body, the corporation acting under the pretense of government, allow you to as a member of their corporation. Your membership is determined by you recontracting with them again and again and again. And the more you recontract with them, filing nationality cards, driver's license, birth certificates, social security cards, you saying that de facto jurisdiction is more superior than your de jure jurisdiction, when that's not possible, even according to their own law admission, right? Because they tell you in their law that sovereigns empower corporations to perform the functions of government. If the sovereign at any time realize that the corporation is ran amok, then the sovereign can withdraw his consent for the corporation to do business from his sovereign capacity as a 5/5 realized being, and not a 3/5 Dred Scott compromised imbecile in law, right? So that's the name of the game, and that's how it works. Once you know how it works, you can mount a defense against it. But if you don't know how you work, you can't defend against it. What we would be doing if everybody knew what was going on, we would all be walking off our jobs and shut the economy down, right? But it's going to shut down anyway. These banks have been bleeding us dry for too long. So that's a wrap for them. They undermine Big Mama Bank, undermine Big Mama Bank, right? They couldn't keep it, but they could live off of it as long as they was holding it in trust for the rightful trustees to assert their superior jurisdiction in a de jure capacity as a sovereign being, right? And demand that the three kings be seen walking on the land as free men, right? So that we can restore the balance back and raise the matriarchy, right? So you need all four of them, the three kings as the governors of the land, right? The one so declared to redeem them, or to show the people where the real leaders on the land at, and to tell the people who we pick versus the corporate fiction. Let's see what he talking about. Come on in, my man. We back at it again. I think I touched the wrong button and discontinued the videos. I don't know what happened. All I know is I looked up and the video wasn't recording. So we're going to finish this up. We ain't going to stop. One monkey don't stop no show. One monkey don't stop no show. So we're going to get back into this, because I still got to go. I have to show y'all why the sign that I was told to read the snake, the sign I was told to read the eagle, and the sign I was told to read the bear. They all came to me right before I went live sometime yesterday. All this information came in. This is all new information I had to read as the signs came in. So I'm going to do a couple more. I'm not going to do as many invites this time because they know I'm on air. Okay, so now we go through here and I go back to this other phone. Now the other phone got got some pictures in it I want to go over, because I got to show y'all the signs I read. Now, y'all seen y'all seen how I end up Moving out of the ethers, I showed y'all that. I told y'all I was going to show y'all that yesterday. Now you understand why the ethers aren't visible as they were. Why you can't see the angelic beings and we passed that. We on another level. All right. So now I'm gonna flip my camera again. This came to me in my messenger yesterday. Young lady sent this to me. Now the symbolism for this, if you see those wings, that's telling me I have to tie the eagle in. Now the RH negative on the onyx background is telling me APEP, RH negative, which is the serpent. Now I have to show what the serpent is, right? So now I have to show the connection between the serpent blood or the serpent strain, APOP, chaos. The chaos being ties me back to the Queen Mother in the 13th seat through the house of Hathor. Remember I showed y'all the gates. Through the house of Hathor and the RH negative blood, this gives me access to the bikers. This gives me access to the biker gangs, what we call them Hell's Angels. All bikers, no matter what their club is, in the heavens are known as Hell's Angels. Do ride the iron horse. Now, if you look in Revelations, you will see they ride. They say that it was like like iron horses was riding in the street. Those motorcycles. That's Hell's Angels we talking about. So the shield, right? The shield represents the royal families, the royal crest or the royal shield. And it also represents the warrior clan. Now, when we talk warrior clan, Red Lodge, we think Chief Malik. Chief Malik Angel Bey, who was in charge of the Mufti. He's the military guard. So now that's all this is telling me Red Lodge. The Red Lodge is telling me there's some unfinished business. The Blue Lodge is complete. Now I have to get her out of the Red Lodge. Well, I did that last night, but these just some loose ends I'm tying up to show y'all. Okay, now, before I go there, I want to go back. I want to go back to the part where nope, it's not here. Oh, I remember. Portia. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, Portia sent me 4 pictures. The first 2 was 2 downward triangles. The first 2 was 2 downward triangles. They were incomplete. That's the descent of the woman. Now, she had to send me the ascent of the man, but she can't do it because I got to make a connection. Now, if I go to her messenger to show you what I'm talking about, matter of fact, I should just let her send. But she sent, so I had to have a conversation with her because she got to give me 3 knocks. She got to give me 3 knocks to allow me through the gate of Hathor. And now, how did I know it was her? Go back to her post. Go back to Portia's post. And matter of fact, Portia, can you tag that post where you posted those pictures of the cows in your yard while I was on the phone with you?
So keep it 1,000.
That'll help a lot. That'll just make stuff a lot faster. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna show y'all. This is how you follow your signs, and it's like this is Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs. That's all this is. Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs in order to find our way back home. Right? Now, we had a lot of people doing a lot of work. And sometimes, you don't always see it for what it is. So, I can't miss nothing. I can't miss nothing. I'm not allowed to miss nothing. All right, so here as I go down, she sent me, now watch this, y'all. I'm going to flip the camera so y'all can see. Jay-Z, what do this tell me? Now you see that 7 on Jay-Z's shirt? What do this say? Expect heavy information on this ritual that went down. You'll find the breakdown this weekend on YouTube channel. That's whoever posted this said that. I didn't say that. Ani Asaru said that. Now look at here. This is Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick. Now I had to look his name up. His last name is an acronym. I'm not going to get into that right now because I don't have the information accessible fast enough to make this video flow. But then she sent me this symbol. Now you see the downward pyramid. Now we are approaching the gate of Hathor. But she got to send me at least one more downward pyramid. And watch this. Okay, now I'm telling her she got some more work to do. Watch this. I told her, go over yesterday. And this is what she responded. Now remember, and a blue star and a red star, two becomes one in sacred union of heaven and earth. What mystics terms calling down heaven or calling heaven and earth, if you grasp that concept, as above, so below. Now, watch. The fire and the water, the earth and the air. Where's the fifth element? Remember the key in the chest. Love. Remember the movie Fifth Element. Ether is materialized akasha, subtle body vibrating at a different rate. Akasha is pure manifestation power as seen, which can only be actualized by harmonious male-female synthesis in 3D reality. Now, this is what she sent back that I had put in a comment on one of her posts, but it didn't have nothing to do. Initially, I didn't think it had anything to do with anything, but then I went back and I reread it. So this is telling me the two becomes one. Now she's sending me the downward triangles as we go down, and then I showed her that, and we kept going. Go do your homework. I have one more photo to locate. Now we going. What? No, wait. Okay, so now this is what told me that she had to give me the 3 knots. When this came in, behind that. Now, later on, in the course of her, I needed the right side up here triangles. And in this picture, look, right side up triangle. But I still need one more to match the other downward triangle. Because remember, we had to have 4 of them. Watch. You see it? Now, while she was doing this on a conscious level, she has no freaking clue what she's doing. This same picture right here, I sent to her a while ago. The difference was the 2 hands that now holds this triangle was palms open over the face. These eyes were in the palm. So now this is showing me the progress of the man. Whatever I did made her have to uncover her eyes. Now go back to the scales of justice for the United States judicial system, and she have the scales. The Lady Justice was blindfolded. Now remember, she had to take her hands from her eyes, but her eyes are not on her face; they're over her shoulders. That's the Dark Mother watching over the daughter as she proceed to us sin. Right? Now you remember the apple. Now that's Snow White. Bit the apple. Remember Eve, the forbidden fruit? The forbidden fruit was connecting the love and the intellect, the heart and the mind. That's the real forbidden fruit, because that's the key to eternal life. Right? Now, then, coming to find out, here's the knot. This is the knot that ties her into her father being a traveling man, right? She's a former biker. So she got to tie me back into the biker through the Masonic Lodge, which was her father, right? So this is the house of Hathor. This is the final gate. This is the final gate. Look at her. You see her? You see, this is the Kali form right here. This Kali. When when she get to go to work, now look who she with. She with the lioness. She's with the lion. Remember, she had to take the sword to cut off the leg, right? Then the imposter who had severed her head, now she had to reveal the imposter. That means she had to take his head. But it required the wisdom. See the serpent? It required the wisdom. I'm reading this shit for y'all right here. Now, look. An open hand. It's a right hand. This is a 5. 5-pointed star. Islam more. Remember, Islam more. Okay, now watch this. Here, she holds the cup. Lest my cup overflow. Right? This is another weapon of war in her left hand. Then she have the open hand outstretched. That's acceptance. Come on this way. This is through the gate. Now look what happened. Kali turned into a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-pointed star. Why? Because the 8 represents the woman. The 8 represents the woman, but not just the regular. That's the young maiden or the princess about to be the queen. When you see Kali standing in front of it, this is her transitional form. This is her, what they call resurrection form. In symbolism. In symbolism. Right? So now, let's go back. We got some more going back to do, so. All these different signs had to be met in order to read everything exactly for what it was. So then what's next? What's next? All right, now, I got to tie all this shit together. That's what's next. What did I miss so far that they think I overlooked, that I didn't make a solid connection on? During my barrister discourse, they'll only tell you enough to make your imagination run wild. Bill Cosby was in a fight for NBC for many years. It's verifiable information. Anybody with 2 drops of common sense can look it up. In the fight for NBC, right, he lost his son. He was accused of fathering some crazy little girl outside of his marriage, and he gave her a whole bunch of money to get the fuck out of his life. All kind of stuff was launched against Bill Cosby in the business arena that you don't know about to stop him from owning NBC. They never want us, rightful heirs to the throne, to inherit any positions of power in media, politics, military, science, technology, any other great fields of the world that covers all 10 areas of people activity. Dr. Neely Fuller gave us 9. I add health to make it 10 because health needs its own category. Health is the string by which the other 9 areas of people activity is hinged. What are they? Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. All 9 areas must be controlled. Who's controlling them and how? Go to the Protocols of the Wise Man of Zion. That's your mirror. Everything Neely Fuller tell you is a thing that white supremacy's ideology must control. The military position of white supremacy had to control all 9 areas of people activity. Right? They are told them how to control them in the protocols. So that's your mirror. Right? Those are your adversaries. So now, from there, we go to, now we got Suge Knight. Okay, now we got R. Kelly, right? We got R. Kelly, we got Bill Cosby, and we got Malachi York being shown how the fabrication is being played out in real time. Now, Suge Knight. Now remember, I went to the Bears yesterday, and there's a Bible verse that you have to be aware of if you want to know what Suge Knight got to do with this. So I'm gonna go to the little iconography. I love saying that word, iconography. And I'm going to show you the verse and the imagery that goes with it. Right now, this is kind of cool. All right, now let me flip my camera so y'all can see it. Here, now notice 2 Kings 2. That's 22 kings. That's 2 master kings I gotta identify is what that's telling me. And the 5 is coming through the 5-point star, right? Meaning coming through the mother line, and it gotta be interpreted by the father line. The 6 is a man. The 5 is the woman. The 6-point star, the 5-point star. Now, who in the hell is these 2 kings? Let's see. Then he went up from there to Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, young lads came out from the city and mocked him and said, "Go up, you bald head. Go up, you bald head." Now, they said that twice. So that means there's 2 bald head people here. Now, remember, we in the Red Lodge. We messing around at Death Row Records now. The Death Row Records. When he looked behind him and saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. He cursed them in the name of the Lord. And then 2 female bears came out of the woods and tore up 42 lads of their number. Very sweet story. Now, I had to find through the matriarchal line who these 2 kings was. My clue was the bear. My clue was the bear. Now, remember I told y'all that she got 2 bears to represent her clan. This is the 5. So the 2 bears that she got was the cubs. So the mirror effects say these 2 bears are adults. So that's why I say go up, you bald head, twice.